Hello everyone, it is Andrew from MAO Magic with the Hue Bloom, which is part of Philip's Friends of Hue series. Basically, this is just another add-on for the standard Hue starter set. You do have to have a bridge, so the connector hub thing, for this to work. You can see obviously there's a lot of other parts to the Hue lineup, such as the light strips, the iris, which is very similar to the Bloom, and we're going to look at in a minute. There's also like the actual Hue bulbs and the directional lights, all that kind of stuff. The main thing about the iris and the Bloom here, the biggest difference is these are actual lights. These are full-on lights with the cord and everything, not just a bulb. So you don't need anything else other than the bridge to get these guys to work. There is another that is basically the same thing as the Bloom, but it is a Disney version of the Bloom. So it's going to be the same size, but it's going to be red and have like Mickey ears on it. And there's like a follow-along app book thing that you can get in the App Store that kind of changes lights as you go through the story. It's pretty cool. I have another review on that. So if you're interested at all, go ahead and check it out. This is a newer version of the Bloom. The older version used to kind of have a detachable power cord, so the new one is completely connected, just like the iris is. You can see here, well, I guess you can't see, but this outer edge here, this is metal, and the bottom part here is going to be white, or it's all white. The bottom part is going to be plastic, and the top's going to be metal. So this is a little bit different than like the iris, which is just all plastic. Obviously, you can see it's a very nondescript white. It's supposed to be kind of, you can kind of hide this. You can basically put it behind some things, put it on counters or dressers or tables, and use it as basically an accent or directional light. So these are kind of handy, especially if it's something you kind of want to show off, be it artwork or just need a little bit more light in a room. Obviously, here we have the iris here on the right and the Bloom on the left. The Bloom is a much smaller version of the iris, I guess. It's more meant to not be seen, whereas the iris is meant to be seen and looks a lot more striking. The iris is bigger and also puts out 210 lumens compared to the Bloom, which only puts out 120. So it has a lot less light power than the iris does. Setting this guy up is dead simple. All you have to do is plug it in. Now you're halfway there. It'll automatically come back on to let you know that it has power, usually in some bright colored, in this case, reddish light that we've got going on here. And then all you have to do is head to the app. Now let's take a look at the app itself, as well as how to add new lights to our system. You do have to have a Hue bridge already on your network before you can use these lights. We're going to swipe open the left menu, go to Settings, and then go to My Lights. We're then going to hit Connect New Lights and do an automatic search where it's going to search my network for any new lights. Here, Living Colors 1 was added at the bottom of our list, which we can then rename to whatever we'd like. We see this notification here, which is letting us know that a new light was found in our network, and we can go ahead and dismiss that message. We go back up to My Lights, and you can see here we have the new Living Color light here at the bottom. We can pull this menu down and get a kind of color wheel. We can move this around and choose any of those 16 million colors that they're allowing us to choose from. Even though they say 16 million, a lot of them are very similar, so you're not really maybe getting as many as you may think. You cannot, however, go all the way to the top. So right here at the top, it gives you just that white color spectrum between white and cool lights. You're going to be kind of stuck here on the bottom, even though you do have basically the same color options as that yellow and that blue. You can still access them, just not from this color section here on the top. You can group lights together by pulling the little choosers right over top of each other. They will group into little sections, so you can move them all at once. So that way you can keep colors or lights the same color. You still have access to alarms, such as alarms in the morning, which you can set to a different scene, such as a sunrise in the morning. You have access to geofencing, so you can have your lights turn on or off as you arrive or leave, respectively. And there's an access to all the different Hue apps that they've kind of provided in this curated store. So a couple to note are IFT, so you can do if this then that, such as using your job one up. If I wake up, turn my lights on. There are a few other cool ones, such as iConnect Hue, or a lot of the ones that allow you to kind of sync your lights to music if you're having a party and you want to flash it around like some discotheque. Other than that, you can check out the lights individually and change them, or you can set them up in scenes, which is kind of like a pre-configured configuration based on a photo or whatever you'd like. You can also access your Hue lights from your Apple Watch if that's something that you've got floating around. You want to be able to control your lights, if not from Siri with HomeKit, which is hopefully something coming, you can control them from your watch itself. There are a couple cool apps we're going to show you. first one up is going to be the actual first-party Hue app from Philips, which is kind of limited. You can basically pull in some of the scenes. You can set them up from the app, but a few of the scenes that you want to use all the time. So there's concentrate, energize, or off. So these are kind of just basic. It's a kind of a limited app. The one I prefer is iConnect Hue, which does have a lot of in-app purchases, but it's pretty nice. So basically it shows you all your different rooms here on the first screen, such as bedroom. Then you have scenes for that room, as well as dimming them. So it may not be complete full control, but this is my app of choice for using it on the Apple Watch. So that wraps up our review. If you have any questions at all, be sure to throw them up in the comments. As always, make sure to subscribe to keep these videos coming. Other than that, I'll see you next time.